I want to go to stock market watcher Dave Maney on all this. Dave, let me be blunt about it. Does the market want to see more stimulus? These used to be guys who were very, very concerned about over government spending. Those days, I guess, are long gone. But what happens if we don't see that stimulus or it's significantly delayed?
Yeah, it's a bad cocktail of numbers, right? I mean, like a 33%, a third of the economy kind of vaporizes at the start of this thing. I think your first instinct as a market denizen is to say, Jesus, I hope the bottom is just not falling out of this thing entirely. And so I think that some level of saying we better make sure that this is not a trap door to the lower circles of Hades is kind of an important first step. I don't guess that it is, that there's a huge market differentiator between 1 and 3 trillion. After you've spent a certain number of trillion, you kind of lose a little bit of sensitivity to exactly what the number is. But I think that the idea of gridlock could put a really negative spin on consumer confidence or lack thereof, and really start to open up bad things below.
2 weeks in a row where claims are rising. We had, obviously, the GDP report, which is rearview mirror, I know. But we're also seeing that some of the reopenings in the country among states have been slowed, if not reversed. Are you worried that we're going to fall back into something bad here?
Yeah, I'm worried that we've got we are not as a human race good at sort of setting out a consistent target and sticking with it. I think it's very clear that we started out thinking we were facing an overwhelming foe, like a highly fatal foe, and therefore said, well, the best we can do is hope to tamp this down and flatten the curve. I think that it is, the fact that we didn't see an even kind of, we have an asynchronous disease showing up, right? And so it's hitting different places, different times. And psychologically, I think we had begun to move the goalpost to say, well, wait a second, we can probably avoid, this hitting lots of people, and we can avoid these really high numbers of deaths. And so that's our goal now, is avoidance. And it coming back, what to a goal we would have said back in March or April, we would have said, yeah, that's what we expect, or that's better than we expected, now becomes, this is really bad. And I think we may see this kind of constant rejiggering of what our human expectations and tolerances are. And that's a tough, that introduces uncertainty. And as we've talked about many times, the market hates uncertainty.
It certainly does. Dave, thank you very much.